You see it?
Like, as in, I can't see anything.
No, I can't see anything. I think I'm blind too.
As long as we're in focus.
I think we start with the cheers.
Start with the cheers.
Well needed.
Yeah.
What's it need?
That was a really bad cheers. That was abysmal. Here, ready? You've got to drink, otherwise it's other bad luck.
You also have to... Okay. You also have to look into each other's eyes. Otherwise
Say
it's
cheers.
5 years bad sex.
Cheers.
You don't want that. This is cute.
This is cute.
Why is
I
this
can't see
colour?
us, but I think it's cute. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back for another video. And I'm joined with the lovely Emily.
Hello.
She's back on the channel and I'm really happy because we're doing a different style of video for us.
So chilled.
And I've wanted to film one like this with you for such a long time. That's like just a chilled out,
Just
sit down.
These are our evenings.
Literally just like normal video. Do you know what I mean? I actually haven't filmed a video in like nearly 2 weeks, so this feels really strange right now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it feels really weird.
Wait, yeah, literally 2 weeks.
Yeah, which is actually, when you actually start filming after 2 weeks, it feels weird.
Yeah, it does feel weird. We just have to forget they're there.
Yeah, no, I know. We will. We're like very chilled out right now. We're on our, second bottle of wine. Cheers if you guys want to get yourself a bottle or 4 or
a glass if you're normal.
That's true. And we also have about 105 snacks.
Oh my god, the best snacks. Can we just quickly go through them?
Yeah.
The Magic Stars. And we actually bought 2 bags, so we both loved them.
2 bags of Magic Stars. Aero, I love Aero, that was a good choice.
It was, wasn't it? That just caught my eye, yeah.
Also, another great choice.
I know. M&S salt and vinegar chips.
One of my faves.
Chiplets. That's
What
a
are
cute
they
name.
called?
Chiplets.
Chiplets.
Didn't know that.
I thought they were like salt and vinegar like sticks.
Yeah, I thought they were sticks. You're not.
Galaxy counters.
And Milky Bar buttons.
By the way, every single snack you picked up, I was like, yes, those are all bits of me.
That's my defense.
Yeah, I was like, wow, well done. So we're basically gonna sit here, drink some wine, chat, eat food, just be our normal chilled out selves. But basically, we had you guys ask us some questions on Instagram, on Emily's and mine. I'm gonna link Emily's channel and her Instagram in the description box. So there's gonna be a part 2 to this video, which we're gonna obviously be filming on her channel.
There was a lot of questions, like a lot.
There were a lot of questions and I want to answer as many as I can. So if ever you guys like want to be involved with these sorts of videos, I would recommend following us both on Instagram because that's where we go to kind of ask you guys questions, advice, all of that stuff. I always am on Instagram, much more active than I am on YouTube. I'm gonna dive straight on in. I'm gonna find the first question. Okay, I got this question a lot, so I really want to answer it. It was phrased in multiple different ways. I am extremely self-conscious about my body as I've put on so much weight since uni. How do I deal with it? And what can I do to lose weight? Love you. And I got a lot of these kind of questions, whether it was how do I lose weight or I've put on weight and I'm feeling insecure. And I think they're very different questions because wanting to lose weight and then just wanting to feel confident, for me, are 2 different things.
And also I think then there's another scenario of wanting to look like something else.
I think wanting to lose weight is a legitimate question though, and I feel like a lot of the time people think because I talk about body confidence and like just feeling happy in yourself that I'm disregarding that as an entire category, and I'm definitely not. Like, it's a valid question. If you feel like you're maybe feeling unhealthy or you're not comfortable.
For me, the biggest thing, like whenever I wanted to lose weight, I say lose weight because for me the biggest thing is fitness and wanting to feel healthy. Like, there was a time where I got so unfit that I was like out of breath running up the stairs, and you could be skinny and or you
still
could
be like that. Yeah, exactly.
Like
I completely agree, and I sometimes I don't want that to be like that I don't believe in that as a solution to some people's problems. Like, I totally do. Like, there are times when I've like needed to lose a little bit of weight, so I've like gone to the gym a little bit more, or I've been a bit healthier with my like choices. My number 1 piece of advice though would be, don't do a crash course diet. Don't do a stupid thing where you restrict your diet, or you go and do some stupid thing where you cut out a whole food group, because it doesn't work in the long term. And that's not healthy for your body.
You need a balanced diet, and also you need to balance your lifestyle with that as well. Like, you can still socialise and you can still eat what you want, and you don't have to then like fixate yourself on needing to work that off in the gym the next day. Like, it's give and take, like it really is.
I feel like, I don't know if you agree, but like in the society that we live in our generation, there's so many extremes.
Oh yeah.
Extremes in everything. And I feel like dieting is one of them. Like, very rarely nowadays people sit and say, oh, just make well-informed choices about your diet. People instead, it's like these extreme things that people go and do.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we live in like that sort of a generation where that's such an issue. And
the extremes of like what
I know my lights, the lights do that. They go.
I feel like we're on a stage and it's like
strange events.
Yeah, and even with advertising, there's always the extreme of like plus size and it's like in a whole different section. It's like, just include it all in one page. Like, that's
I completely agree.
Piece of advice that I would give for like losing weight and wanting to go to the gym and stuff, do it with somebody else, because
100%.
I did it with Brad's mum. Like, when I was, I mean, I'll hold my hands up now and say that I've given up on the gym, I've given up on trying to lose weight or get in shape or feel fit or whatever it is. I'm just not in the right mindset for it right now.
Yeah,
that's fine
but
too.
totally fine. And I think you have to be in a certain mindset for it as well.
And you'll get back into it. Like, it doesn't mean that it's going to last forever, but when I was doing it with Nick, it meant that if one day I wasn't really feeling it, she would turn up at my door and take me
and
to
encourage you to go.
Yeah.
Literally going back to your point that you said at the beginning, like, disassociate yourself from the whole wanting to maybe lose a little bit of weight and maybe get a bit more fit versus emulating somebody on social media. And I think that is a really toxic road.
At the end of the day, and I don't know if you watch him, but Matt Does Fitness.
No.
He's like, he's proper into fitness. He's not someone that I would usually watch, but he's such like a personal guy. Yeah, he has like literally incredible genes, and he will say that himself. Like, he's like, if you want to be ripped and if you want to look a certain way and you've seen somebody else that looks a certain way, if your genes aren't modified that way, you are never going to look like
Completely agree.
And he's like, he rips it down to the scientific facts of like, if you see what somebody looks like and you feel like you want to achieve that, you may not be able to ever achieve that because of your genes. So like, in my genes, I've got bigger hips and a bigger bum. And
that's just the way, and then some people would kill for that. I mean, they've got like a bigger top half or whatever. Do you know what? I've said that before in other ways. Like, I've said that before with regards to like, when people say things like, oh, do you ever struggle, I think you might get this question as well, in what we do with social media to emulate a certain body type. And it's like, yes, but it's also accepting that that is not my body type, or that is not me. So like, I've said this so many times on my channel, but like, I think Candice Swanepoel is beautiful. I think Megan Fox is stunning. Like, all these different girls, but I am not those people and they are not me. And like, I think it's really toxic to get yourself on a circle of like a cycle of being like, oh, I want to emulate that, I want to emulate that, because it's not achievable.
When
it's damaging for your self-esteem.
There's so much else about you than what you look like.
I completely agree.
There's so many other things to me as a person.
Validate yourself for other things other than your exterior. Because I think it's really toxic. It's great to want to look good, and we all want to look good. Like, that's just a matter of life. I'm not going to walk away. I'm not going to step away from that fact. We both do social media. We both put photos on Instagram. We want to. At the same time, like, there are other factors that are equally, if not far more important than the aesthetic.
Gotcha.
You know?
I mean, I hope people validate me more for what's in the
same than anything to do. Like. Same.
Yeah.
And those that only validate you anyway on your exterior are not people that I would want to associate myself with.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. I love this question. My boyfriend is going travelling with mates for a month.
You haven't briefed me on any of these. This isn't.
Would you feel comfortable with him going to a strip club? Help. Makes me sad that she's messaging us about it, because she's obviously struggling with how she feels. I'm really interested in your perspective on this, because you're in a long-term relationship, if you guys don't know. And I think mine might be maybe different to yours.
I think yours would be totally different to mine.
So I'm super intrigued, because I'm not in a relationship at the minute, so am I coming from kind of a like off the cuff? Yeah.
So I think it's really different for girls compared to boys anyway. I think our views are always going to be quite different on it, because I don't know about you, I mean, there's probably girls out there that would love to go to a strip club. Personally, it literally doesn't interest me.
I couldn't think of, I actually couldn't think of anything worse than having a man gyrating near me with his bits and pieces.
If on my Hindu, if
you did that on my Hindu, I would go mad. Like, I couldn't do it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, I've seen people kind of in a similar situation. I've been like, I feel uncomfortable. Because it was a thing at uni. People used to get strippers to come to the
birthdays. I used to see all of my friends' things, and I was
why was that a thing?
I don't know. No, to me that is just not something I'm interested in at all. And
because it's unwarranted attention. You've not asked for that person. You've not been like, way.
And that's what people say. They're like, it's more embarrassing for the person. But then I think, to me, if boys are taking themselves to a strip club to look at other women in that way, because boys look at people in that way, I don't want to generalise everyone. Generalise people, because I know there probably are some boys out there that don't maybe look at other girls in that way, and I feel like it is quite a different situation for girls compared to boys. For me personally, obviously being in a 6-year relationship anyway, if Brad took himself to a strip club with like just him and his mate, I'd find it very disrespectful, because for me sitting at home,
I do get that though.
Then maybe potentially comparing myself to that girl that he may have seen, that I actually don't know what she looks like, and I know that realistically at the end of the day it's their job.
For me it comes down, and people are going to be like, well, you either are happy with the whole thing or you're not. For me it comes down to finer details than that. For me it comes down to, if they were on a stag do, this doesn't sound like a stag do, this sounds like a boys' holiday where they've gone away for the month and they're going to go in a strip club.
She said they're going travelling.
Yeah. So now I feel sorry for him in a way, Because let's say, hypothetical, he's the one in the relationship, 4 of his mates are single. They all want to go into a strip club. As the one in the relationship, what do you do? Walk around the streets of, you know, I don't know, Barcelona on your own, or Paris, or you're indirectly segregating yourself from the group, because in their world, that's a group activity. I know to us it's like, sorry, what? Yeah. But I just mean within that scenario.
Which I find so weird.
So do I. But I know many boys that did that on holiday in Magaluf, in Zante. It was such a craze, it was such a thing. I think for me, if I was in a relationship, it's so easy for me to say because I'm not at the moment, but if I was, I would find it odd if they spent money in the strip club. I think that, for me, it comes down to the finer details. If they went in with 6 other guys on a stag do or for someone's birthday, I obviously wouldn't be happy about it. Yeah. However, if I found out they had a private dance in there, for me that's a completely different kettle of fish. Yeah. If you're going into a strip club and there are girls dancing and you're getting a drink at the bar and you're kind of trying your best to keep yourself to yourself, if you're in a relationship and be respectful, I think that's one thing. I think going into a room with a guy who's taking her top off and dancing on you, they're just two completely different things to me.
No, because I would never ever put myself in that situation. And if you've put yourself in that situation, then that's wrong. Because I wouldn't disrespect you on that level.
I also think it makes it physical. Like, so I've had a few friends that have said to me they don't feel comfortable with their boyfriends watching porn. Now, to me, I couldn't care less. And maybe that's just me. Like, if I'm not up for it tonight, and I'm not there, I can't be bothered. Yeah. But for me, that is not physical, as in like there is a obvious barrier there between that and the past. If you're in a strip club, that is 2 physical people, like one of which is naked. Yeah. That is coming to the wire a little bit for me. Like, that's getting close to the line.
I think especially if you get to a point, like, it depends what point of your relationship you're at as well, because like obviously
Agreed.
Both Brad and I were living together at one point. We were spending the money that we jointly had. So if any of that joint money was spent on that,
that's such a good point.
That's another level of disrespect. Like,
it depends on the circumstances of the situation. Like, let's say he's gone travelling with 4 other single guys and they're dragging him into this place, and you know he's sitting awkwardly at the bar.
But that's what I mean.
I don't think I would lose my head. I don't think I would lose it at my boyfriend, because I would almost feel a bit like, oh, what were you supposed to do?
At the end of the day, though,
and it also depends how often of a thing it is.
Yeah, 100%.
I know friends whose boyfriends go multiple times to a strip club,
which I think is sad. But
it's a bit of for me, that seems a little bit of an unhealthy addiction.
Yeah. But I think also, like, realistically, if at the end of the day you're uncomfortable with it, talk to him.
That's true.
It's the only thing you can do.
Because your opinion is valid.
And it should be.
Okay, started talking to a guy, but I go to uni in September and he'll be far away. I don't know if I should pursue.
Never had experience with this, so I wouldn't know.
This is literally how I basically started my first relationship. It wasn't really far away, but I got into my relationship 2 weeks before I went to uni.
Really?
Yeah, so I got into it in August, and then I went late August, and then I went to uni in September. I was with him for nearly 3 years. So I'm a fond believer of, like, if it's meant to be and you really like someone, why wouldn't you pursue it? I don't really see why the limitations of university or Freshers Week should stop you from having a relationship with someone. Yeah. But I think that comes down to your personality as well. Like, I can kind of see that that's a madness for a week and it's fun for a week, but like, I'm not one of those sorts of people that's up for like going off with random people or kissing random boys. So I knew I wanted the relationship far more than any of that. Like, you do meet lots of people at uni. I guess it depends how much of a connection you have. But I wouldn't say rule it out just because you're going to university.
Yeah, just see how it goes.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Meant to be. That's what I think.
And also, realistically, I've had so many people that have come back after uni and that's when it starts happening. So if you live your life through uni and you live your life single and you get on with your own lives for a little bit, most of the time, if it is meant to be, you come back together.
100%. And you can make it work. Like, that was never one of the issues in my relationship, was one of us being at uni and one of us being at home.
Yeah.
That wasn't, like, there were issues maybe like in the relationship, but nothing to do with that. Like, I don't think that should stop you from starting something with someone. Okay, this question, I really want to answer this because I absolutely love this girl and she's so cute. Advice on how to feel more comfortable and at ease with having sex for the first time. Okay, so the first person I ever had sex with and I'm still with is my partner. So I've only ever had sex with one person. Very happy with that. Quite like it that way. Lovely.
The other way. 100% being comfortable with that person is the main thing. And I mean, we were seeing each other for 4 months before we did anything. Well, not did anything, but had sex.
Yeah.
You have to get to a stage where both of you are comfortable. Not just
I think you have to be I think you have to be really quite comfortable. And whether that takes you 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, I don't know what it is. It's your personal thing. Like, also, you have to be comfortable.
At the start of all of that, take away the stigma around having sex for the first time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's not the be all and end all. Like, as in, yes, it's a big deal because I think it is a very important thing. but that's the extent of it. It doesn't make you any less of a person. It doesn't make you any less cool or anything like that. It's not a status thing.
No, not at all.
Literally
I just think
doesn't matter.
you're experiencing something for the first time, and it is a little bit daunting and maybe like a different situation. So I think, like, going back to what you said, being comfortable with that person is one of the most key things in the scenario. Because I think if at any point you feel uncomfortable, you don't like something, whatever it is, that you need to feel comfortable to be able to say like, oh, this isn't cool, or whatever it is. That would be a piece of advice I'd probably give myself, I think.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
Also, there are so many people. How many people do you hear of that regret their first time?
100. You do hear of a lot of people.
I don't.
But that's another thing. Like, there is this societal pressure to literally just sleep with the first person you end up with. So yes,
like,
I'm comfortable,
like,
but also know them, and
that makes me so sad that some people want to be drunk.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, as much as I've now been in this relationship for 6 years, but if that was the person that I had slept with, and then I wasn't with him after like a year, I still would have respected that.
Yeah, no, I
like,
get
it
you.
Still would have been
a nice way to. Yeah, I agree.
You have to be comfortable. Like, as long as you're comfortable with that person, you can talk about everything before you get into any of that.
Yeah.
If you felt uncomfortable at any point in whatever you're doing, you can
say.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think I'm lying. I do
it.
think I'm lying now if I sit here and say like, oh, as long as you feel comfortable with the person, and as long as you know it's not a big deal, like, you know, you'll be fine. It is. Well, that's just my personality. I'm quite an anxious person about big things like that.
Yeah.
I would find it uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, but like I would get anxious about it anyway. And I think that's something that I don't know how you could eradicate that. Yeah, definitely.
But then I think
definitely
I would and did. But then I think, because there were definitely situations before I was with my partner that could have happened, but I didn't feel comfortable. So therefore I didn't feel as anxious. Yeah. Whereas I think, you know, realistically listen to your head, because you know when you're ready to do it or not. And I think some people just jump into it. Don't feel the pressure, is what I'm saying, to do it there and then, or
at this stage, or after this date.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And that goes on to say, I think, even like for the first time you sleep with someone and future times.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I've been single now for a while, and this thing's come around that I'd never heard of before, and it was the whole like 5 date thing. And friends were like, oh, well, after five dates you would sleep with them, and I'd be like,
no.
Sorry, what?
Literally, really. Huh? I don't get that. I'm so old school, like.
Same. Like, I was a bit like, okay, well, that is not a bit of me. So I do think there is like this pressure from, not even from like external factors, like from your friends, from like quite close knit people, to you.
Yeah.
But it is daunting. I think it's one of those things, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me, it sounds so much more daunting and stressful and unnerving.
Oh my God.
In your head, you build it up to be this huge thing. Trust me. It really isn't.
Literally 5 minutes after, you'd be like, is that it?
Like, yeah. Like, it just isn't what you think it will be.
No. It's like any situation, though, that's quite big in life, or you feel anxious about. As soon as it's done, you're like, oh okay, I can do this again.
Yeah. I just think it's just quite personal, so obviously you don't want to...
Yeah.
Each to their own, but I personally, for the first time, wouldn't want to be with any old... Because to me, it's quite a... You know, it's quite a... Okay, this is a good question. I kind of want to ask you this just like at the end. Random, who would most likely survive on a desert island? You, Emily, or Misha?
Oh my God, Misha's out of the question. I think, sorry Misha, I love you.
Do you think she's more out of the question than us? Yeah.
Please don't bring me into your bracket.
I think I did D&E.
Okay, fair. Where did
bronze
you get
and silver.
Okay, I did the bronze practice and I gave up.
I did silver, so I'm surviving on that desert island, Hans. Bye, guys.
DV is a bit different to a desert island. There's not like hot weather.
I've watched that programme with what's his name on.
You'd be sitting.
I've watched that programme with Bear Grylls on. I know exactly what to do. Drink my own urine, all of that.
You'd be sitting there tanning, trying to get the
right.
best tan that you could before you get picked up.
You're so right.
You'd call someone to bring you a helicopter to get you off there.
I don't know who I'm calling, but okay.
What would Misha do? Probably vlog about it.
Misha would probably vlog about it, or she'd probably go around the jungle and put together some sort of skirt, kind of like leafy skirt, and be like, guys, how to style a skirt in 5 different ways for an IGTV video. That would be me.
That would be what the fuck would I do? I'd probably just sit down and cry.
You would. Right, hang on. Let me think logically about what you would do. You would panic for a minute, and then you would regain yourself. you'd probably ferment some sort of something on the island and create your own wine. You'd drink. You would drink. You'd find some like pirates thing and drink a load of whiskey.
Yeah, I'd probably find some mates.
You would, yeah. Hang out.
I'd just socialise.
Yeah.
With whatever is on that island.
I don't know who.
Or I'd find a pet.
If I'm perfectly honest, the person that asked that question, not one of us would survive. I honestly, I love you all, but none of us are surviving on that island.
I would freak.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna do some quick fire ones at the end, just because we need to finish this video, and obviously we need to film Emily's, and we just are drinking far too much wine. Okay, have you ever been caught getting down and dirty?
Yes.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine was by my mum. Shout out to you, mum. And my brother.
And hi to the whole family. Oh my god. Have either of you regretted any of your life choices, boys, friends, etc.? Probably regretted some friend choices in my past.
100%, Jesus Christ.
And I've probably
100%, but then taught me a lot of things.
I think every bad experience teaches you something. Agree with you. And also, I probably regret boy choices, but I feel like that's just life. Yeah. We always go after the person that probably doesn't want us back. Did you join YouTube for the money and free stuff? No, I actually made a YouTube account when I was in year 10, so it wasn't even a thing when I joined YouTube.
I definitely joined YouTube wanting to pursue it as my career, so with that comes money and free stuff. But the thing is, with anyone's job and any job that I was in before, you get bonuses, whether that's pay or you get perks of the job
or whatever it is.
That's our perk of the job, and it's a freaking great perk of the job. I'm not going to deny that at all.
Yeah. I do think that if you join it solely for that purpose, I still believe that now. Yeah, it doesn't come across as authentic. You will not be authentic. People will not gravitate towards your content. Like, you'll just come across as fake.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I want to do is help people with my platform.
Yeah, and chat and do videos like this are my favourite.
But to be able to put the effort into it that you want to come across, like, in order to help people that way and put out content, because I use YouTube as an escape. If I'm feeling down, go on YouTube and I watch someone's videos, and I want to be that for somebody else. Yeah. But to be able to put that effort in, you need all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
And you have to make it your full-time job. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but we're working like 14-hour days.
Yeah, properly
working. Work more at this than I ever have at any other job.
But because I love it so much, it doesn't feel like work. Yeah. There are times when I'm like, oh, I'm inundated, but there are times when I love it so much. So, no, definitely didn't join it. That wasn't the reason. I actually want to do a whole video on my YouTube, like why I started YouTube and like the backlash that I got. But I'm really scared to film that video, because I know that the people that the video is going to be about will watch the video, and it's about what happened at school and everything, and I just, you know, when you don't open a can of worms.
Yeah, but then I think hopefully people are old enough to understand that they were in the wrong.
Yeah.
And you have to move on from that.
I think you're probably right. Who is your YouTuber crush? We've got asked this before, and I really struggle with this question.
Will Smith?
I don't think like people are gonna be like, yeah, you do. I could not think of a boy from the UK that does YouTube that I fancy. And like really like fancy.
No.
But then am I just not thinking properly right now? If you had to give up sex or alcohol, which would you pick?
Oh my god.
I've basically already given up sex, so we all know what I have chosen.
Just that.
Come on, I absolutely love my alcohol.
I'd give up alcohol. No, I would.
So I would be drinking alone?
No, I'd give up alcohol, because then if I keep the sex, I'm going to have a kid, and then I can't drink anyway. Sorted.
Logical, but, you know, at this point in my life, the alcohol is remaining a strong staple in my diet.
Just not in your diet. This is healthy eating.
I mean, it's grapes.
5
a day. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. I hope we answered all of your questions. I feel like Emily's is going to be way more, like, I'm starting to get really drunk right now.
We're going to be so much more honest.
But I hope you all found it useful in some way. I'm going to link the video that we filmed on Emily's channel in the description box, as well as her. That was like a grizzly bear.
What do you call them? I call them turtle bats when they're like inside. So you have like a turtle bat.
Inside. That's from the deep depths of my stomach. That was like, oh. That's sick.
Do you?
A little bit. That pizza.
I still don't
cheesy.
What?
I need to stop eating cheese. It makes me feel so sick.
I know, I'm dairy intolerant. I keep eating dairy.
Oh god.
Yeah, no, it's not great.
Don't look at me like that. I'm gonna link the video we filmed over on Emily's channel in the description box as well.
You literally are acting like you've had a crate of wine. I literally don't feel this at all.
I'm gonna link Emily's video in the description box, which is gonna be a continuation of this. We're just gonna be answering more questions over on her channel and probably drinking far more wine. Very dangerous. So I'll link that in the description box as well as her Instagram and her YouTube channel. But if you're not subscribed over here, please click the bell, and that way you'll be notified when I upload on this channel. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up, comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Right.
Not as nice as the last.
No, not at all. Very dry.
That's what I say after every man.
Yeah, very dry.
Not as nice as the last.
Yeah, very dry.
It's getting more and more like that in my life.